We are left way behind now, and will continually slipping unless some people take their parts in rebuilding a country that has once promised an empire. Some years back, we were at par with countries that has now formed the greats of Asia. Now, we are struggling to tap the way back while all of them has already reached their glory days. With widespread need to globalize and get into the game with the bigs and the powerfuls, many Filipinos are quite skeptical if we'll even make it. Well, we need to wake up and reunite our paths back to the course it had before. And with barriers falling on us, it is easier to assume that we need to work harder than what we have first imagined. In the new trends, Filipino entrepreneurs will have to invest their money on things that need immediate support. This does not necessarily mean that we must act as saviors of our country. Nevertheless, it is common sense to focus on things that are most lucrative. Famous Filipino entrepreneurs, despite the doubled risks of not getting through, still have mustered the will to take them. It is not easy making business here in the Philippines. With frequent economic fluctuations and inconsistent growth and failure, it's easy to give on the first storm that comes. But those people who have made themselves great risk takers still force their eyes open to invest in a country that is slipping down. To save it? Probably. But it is more like really finding the hidden potentials that the country has to offer. And they are not few, only they are hidden. Famous Filipino entrepreneurs were all once young people with dreams. They tapped the idea and grabbed all opportunities that will shed light to that thought. They all took the initial risks. They even have probably enjoyed the beginner's luck. But that first streak of luck was only temporary. Then came the risks that almost broke them down. Then they willed themselves to set aside comforts in exchange for hardy lives that later became the foundation of their business. The businesses that became the inspiration for other young entrepreneurs to follow, and the businesses that gave hope to those who were once hopeless. The jobs that they have produced are so extensively effective that they sparked new hopes to budding entrepreneurs. Famous Filipino entrepreneurs are not famous because their names are published on magazines or they were invited in talk shows and the likes. They were famous because they reached lives through providing jobs. Jobs are the vehicles for making other Filipinos feel their worth and their self-esteem. These create more productive individuals useful in rebuilding a country. And the jobs that they were able to produce paved ways for making our country worthy of becoming a player in the world market again. Famous Filipino entrepreneurs developed the power to harness creativity from the people and modify their talents to achieve mutual benefits. They sparred the country to move forwards. The progress may be slow, and it is really slow. With some exceptions, almost everything aren't new. In fact, the moguls are still those who elated themselves to the pedestal before the war. The capitalistic community of the Philippines may not be as strong or as refreshed as those that may be found in other states. We may be weak, we may be left behind, but the thing is, despite every hurdle that we encounter, including those that are pulling us behind, young entrepreneurs are still hopeful in making business in the Philippines. Famous Filipino entrepreneurs were the ones who have toughed the tides. They were those who believed in revolutionizing things and in innovating systems that are adapted to our conditions. They may be formed from the classic story of being once a son or daughter of poverty who happened to have the will to take the risks and embark into the unknown. They mastered themselves along the way and mastered other people. Thus, they succeed. That may be the formula for becoming a famous Filipino entrepreneur, but it can be seen in many ways possible. Central to such stories, though, is the willingness to be a risk taker and to take the leadership to lead oneself and to lead other people for your common good.